August 5th, and this is The View with Catherine Chang. Today's topics are James Song might be the chairman of the Taiwan Straits Exchange Foundation and the bribery case aftermath. First, I want to talk about James Song might be the chairman of the Taiwan Straits Exchange Foundation. There's a saying that the former chairman of the People First Party, 亲民党, Song Chu-yu, James Song, might take over the position of the chairman of the Taiwan Straits Exchange Foundation because the current chairman, Li Dawei, took the new role as Secretary General to the president. Well, it is not confirmed yet, but I think James Song's political experiences are absolutely in line with his position. He has been the governor of Taiwan province, ran for the presidential elections, and represented President Tsai to attend APEC summit twice. There are several points. A, if Song Chu-yu, James Song, really takes this position as a chairman of Taiwan Straits Exchange Foundation, it implies that DPP expresses the friendly gesture to China. Why do I say that? Because Song Chu-yu does not come from a diplomatic system, and that will loosen the tension between Taiwan and China. Because if the chairman comes from a diplomatic system, that will be more like an opposition from nation to nation. B, Song Chu-yu is not a member of DPP. Thus, this is considered to be a friendly gesture of the DPP to opposition party. C, the 92 consensus is out. And what will be the new common language between cross-straits? Taiwanese cannot accept the 92 consensus because Xi Jinping said that 92 consensus is one China, and the one China is the People's Republic of China. KMT also said that the 92 consensus will not exist without two interpretations. So I think it is just like a death sentence to the 92 consensus. What about Taipei Mayor Ko Wen-je's 两岸一家亲? Two sides of the straits are one family. I don't think Taiwanese will accept this either. Looking at the Chinese missiles toward Taiwan, and the Chinese fighters flew over the median line of Taiwan Strait all the time. But I do think that Xi Jinping wants to start a cross-strait dialogue. Why? Because after Xi Jinping imposed a national security law on Hong Kong, it triggered big rebound around the world, especially in the United States. So I think Xi Jinping really wants to loosen the tension between China and the U.S., and maybe they want to start a dialogue with Taiwan too. Will the dialogue ever happen? Well, we will see whether James Song will be the chairman of Taiwan Straits Exchange Foundations or not. Second issue I want to talk about, the bribery case aftermath. The bribery case of Taiwan's legislators caused a great shock to the legislative yuan because 6 legislators and 1 party chairman have been investigated, and 3 of them were taken into custody. Former New Power Party Chairman Xu Yongming was the only one who released on bail. The latest development is Xu Yongming took the initiative and said that he will withdraw from the New Power Party. Many people think that this is the darkest day of the legislative yuan, but I think this is a new beginning. It's just like that you have a wound and it festered, but you have to clean it up with surgical debridement so that it can really recover. But who are the winners and the losers? In this incident, I think the KMT, DPP, and the New Power Party are our losers. And the biggest loser should be former Pacific Distribution Investment Company Chairman Li Henlong. He paid more than 200 million NT dollars as bribes to legislators. Not only he failed to get the ownership of Sogo, but also he might face a maximum sentence of life imprisonment. Li Henlong is already in his 70s. I think this is something that he never expected. Here are the top stories. Today, we have 0 confirmed cases. However, I have to say that it was reported that a Japanese engineer returned from Taiwan to Japan has tested positive for COVID-19. The CCC has currently investigated 80 people who had contact with him. As tension rises between U.S. and China, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services published a statement to announce that U.S. will send highest representative to Taiwan since the 1979 break in ties. They stated that U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar will lead a delegation to Taiwan in the coming days. This is the first visit to Taiwan by a cabinet-level U.S. officials in 6 years. Secretary Azar will meet with senior Taiwan counterparts, COVID-19 responders, and experts and other Taiwan partners to discuss the COVID-19 response, global health, the U.S.-Taiwan partnership, and Taiwan's role as a reliable global supplier of medical equipment and critical technology. Also, Azar said that Taiwan has been a model of transparency and cooperation in global health during the COVID-19 pandemic and long before it. Well, this trip represents an opportunity to strengthen our economic and public health cooperation with Taiwan. Furthermore, American Institute in Taiwan said in a statement that, in contrast to authoritarian systems, U.S. and Taiwan societies and economies are uniquely equipped to drive global progress in medicine and science to help the world tackle emerging threats. In regards to the U.S. visit to Taiwan, the Wall Street Journal published an article. The title is Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar to visit Taiwan. And they wrote that U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar is planning to lead a delegation to Taiwan in a rare high-level U.S. visit to the island that China has sought to isolate diplomatically. Except for that, we also say that a former U.S. Assistant Secretary of Defense for Indo-Pacific Security Affairs, Randall Schriver, voiced his support in an interview. He said such a visit should become a routine visit. Other than that, former American Institute of Taiwan Chairman Richard Bush, Pu Ruizhe, said something to criticize the U.S. President Donald Trump. He said that, well, given the Trump administration's improper handling of the pandemic, perhaps this is a good opportunity for Azar to learn about Taiwan's epidemic prevention. Well, I think it is because of Richard Bush is a Democrat, so that he criticized Trump in a way. Well, as countries are concerned about the possibility of war in the Taiwan Strait, an Australian media, The Australian, published an article. The title is Taiwan Could Force Us into an ANZUS Busting Choice. ANZUS is the Australia, New Zealand, United States Security Treaty. And they wrote, for Australia, in our contemporary geopolitical situation, Taiwan certainly comes within the ANZUS treaty definition of an armed attack in the Pacific area. Australia is a standout as the only Five Eyes ally that the United States should be able to depend on. Our refusal will be seen in Washington as the ultimate betrayal of our allies' commitment in our own region. Well, also, they wrote that it is in our interest to stand up for the defense of a successful democracy of 24 million people living on an island. I think that is talking about Taiwan. And it said that if Taiwan is not worth defending, why would anyone come to Australia to defend? And, I just want to say that talking about Australia, thank you very much for supporting Taiwan. Well, in the end, I want to share with you the legislators, who were put into custody yesterday. Do you know what did they have for dinner? It is what I said, the 竹笋炒肉丝, shredded pork, and bamboo shoots. You know that, well, it's kind of delicious, but it's kind of interesting too because, people in Taiwan are talking about it. That when we're little, it's in our parents' generation. Sometimes some of the parents will punish their children by spank. And it's just like the bamboo on your body. It's just like shredded pork and bamboo shoots. Wow, talking about that. Did I ever be punished like that? No, I was only punished to kneel down. Oh no, no, just kidding. Well, that will be the view for today. I'm Catherine Chang. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.